It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm Angela Yee, and New Mano
New Mano
is in the building. Let's
right.
get into some Yee tea.
Yeah.
You ready for some new J.Cole?
Absolutely. I love J.Cole.
All right. Well, he has a new vlog out. He put it out through a burner account on Instagram. And he's talking about a lot of different things on there. For instance, right, he does want to get back into producing, but there's an issue. Here's what he said.
A desire, like, man, I want to get back to making beats. But then I'm like, yo, but it's been so long. And I've been putting so much work in on the rap that, like, I'm so far behind now. I'm the worst I've ever been. You know what I mean? Just because it's like, yo, I don't do this at all.
I mean,
he ain't been doing it in a while, so he feel like he's
he feels
behind.
a little rusty.
Right.
But that also might give you like a fresh perspective
Yeah.
when you haven't done it and then you get back to doing it.
Right, because you got a clear mind and everything is brand new.
All right. In addition to that, he also put out a teaser for a new song. I know people are so excited for this new album. He hasn't put out a new project since the off season back in 2021, but the fall off is coming. We don't have a release date yet, but here's a snippet of some new music.
You know it's money that you owe me, nigga. Phony and I'm why Queen Phoenix.
What I like about J. Cole is that he'll pop up like randomly on somebody's song, like, oh, I didn't even know he was. Yeah.
I like that he does songs with people unexpected. Like you wouldn't expect him to do a song with, NBA YoungBoy.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
know?
And you know what? I remember, I'll never forget this. Bia was talking about working with him in the studio and how he made her feel so safe and protected. You know, and even Money Long, when she discussed J. Cole coming in and she was like talking crazy about something and he was like, the energy was off. You know, he don't like to talk about people. And she had to check herself, she said. Yeah, I think that's dope, though. It just shows who he is as a person. All right. Now, Wendy Williams, that Lifetime docuseries, Where is Wendy Williams, is coming out on Saturday. And they do have an exclusive clip with people that shows some of the things that'll be really like, you know, it'll warm your heart, even though it's difficult and family members are concerned about her struggles with mental health and alcoholism and Graves' disease and all of that. There are some really heartfelt moments. And here's one with Black China in this exclusive teaser.
I recently been changing my life since, we last spoke. You've always been honest with me and put me in my place. Yeah. You know what I mean? In the most motherly, kind way. That's why I love you so much.
So do I.
All right, and lastly, since we're talking about Wendy Williams, let's talk about the Sherri show. This was some really sad and unfortunate news. The executive in charge of Sherri Sheppard's show was found dead in his home on February 13th, according to a source who confirmed this to Page 6. His main job, Matt Uzzo, was to manage production and oversee the budget, but he was under investigation. At the time of his tragic death, they said people had been complaining about issues with petty cash, and then it was brought to the parent company's attention that rent at their studio had not been paid since September, and there was a real concern that the show was getting shut down, and they actually had to step in. So I guess it has something to do with the investigation, and it looks like it was what they're saying right now. It looks like a suicide, but they're investigating. They said the police performed a welfare check after no one heard from him, and that's when they found him dead. So those are all the details that we know as of now. Wow. Really sad. So, and Jimmy Kimmel is saying that this is his final contract as a possible end to his long-running talk show, 21 years. And he said every spring he thinks he might call it a day on late night, but then he starts to miss the fun stuff. But now he's really considering leaving that after his latest contract with ABC ends. He told the LA Times, I hate to even say it because everyone's laughing at me now each time I think that. And then it turns out to not be the case. He said, I still have a little more than 2 years left of my contract, and that seems pretty good. That seems like enough. 21 years is a nice run.
21 years.
And I'm a fan of going out while you on top.
Right. But he got 2 more years on his contract, so I guess he'll make up his mind.
All right, well, that is your Yeetie. And when we come back, we have Under the Radar. These are the stories that are not necessarily in the headlines. They're flying under the radar. And this first story affected me today. I didn't know what was going on with my phone service. We'll tell you about it in Under the Radar. It's way up.